Christopher Lane, a 22-year-old baseball superstar in college, was fatally shot by 3 teenagers in Oklahoma. Now, the 3 teenagers are facing consequences. They got arrested immediately. James Francis Edwards Jr. is a 15-year-old, and Chancey Allen Luna is a 16-year-old. Both of them have been charged with murder. Michael Dewayne Jones is 17, and he has been charged with accessory to murder after the fact and with firing a weapon. So immediately after this happened, they face consequences, which they should. And I should also note that the reason why they decided to go out there and just shoot this perfectly innocent person was because they happened to be bored. They took their gun, they went out with their .22 caliber and shot this poor 22-year-old to death. So now this story is stirring up some controversy among conservatives. Alan West recently tweeted the following: "We were bored and decided to kill somebody. 3 black teens shoot white jogger. Who will the President of the United States identify with this time?"
This is, first of all, of course, Alan West is making it racial, right? Like, oh, it was the blacks who shot him. By the way, one of the kids was white, the kid who drove the car, okay? It was blacks who shot him, and so... And it was a white guy who got shot. Is the president going to come outside and say, oh, I identify with the jogger? Well, of course he'd identify with the jogger. Would he identify with the guy who was randomly bored and shot someone in the head or what? Or in the back, actually, in this case. No, the reason that they say that is like, you see that? Okay, what happened when it's blacks who shoot poor whites and they get their boy Alan West to make this comment? Listen, you idiots. The problem with Trayvon Martin was that the guy who shot him was not arrested. In this case, the kids were immediately arrested, as they should have been. It's a non-story. It's a story in what a tragedy it is. But in terms of a national injustice, there was no injustice. They were arrested, as they should have been, put in jail, and they'll probably get a very, very long sentence that they deserve. You see, the problem was the injustice because Zimmerman got to walk away after shooting the kid. They didn't even do a toxicology report or a criminal background check on him. They sicken me, man. They send their sick, stupid boy, Alan West, out there to be like, oh yeah, okay, what would you like me to say? Okay, yeah, you see that? It's the black people's fault. Look at the blackie shooting the white man, poor white man. You see that? It's all the blackie's fault, and it's President Obama's fault. Uncle Ruckus, get the fuck out of our lives. Okay, Jesus Christ, man.
And look, some people might make the argument that the George Zimmerman case was highly politicized, but of course it was highly politicized. I mean, it involved stand your ground laws, which are highly questionable. It involved a man who shot and killed a 17-year-old, but faced no consequences for it until it became a big media story weeks and weeks later. But in this case, I mean, why are you politicizing this? What the 3 teenagers did was absolutely wrong. They should face consequences. 2 of them are facing life in prison, as they should, right? But there's nothing political about this. Why are you making this about the president? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, of course it does, yeah, right? Because you, unfortunately, are tasked with watching Fox News here as the producer of the show. And now every time a black person shoots a white person, they're like, where's the president? They get arrested, you assholes. They get arrested like they should. There's no injustice to correct. If there's a black kid or a black person who shoots a white person and the cops come and go, oh, you know what, it's black, he's black, it's okay, let him go. Let's do a criminology or toxicology and a criminal background check on the white kid who's dead. We'd have a problem with it. That would be an injustice because we don't view it as just black and white, unlike you guys. Jerry, am I right or wrong that Fox News has been focusing in that direction?
Well, I mean, sadly, every time you hear them say, they're playing the race card. Oh, stop with the race card. It's them who immediately play the race card. And it's
exactly.
So the problem is whenever the, quote, race card is played and it's, there is no such thing in the first place. The thing is that they're not allowed to put themselves in the victim role. The reason they were so upset about the Trayvon situation was because they said, wow, there's a segment of the population, and it's not just black people, who see this kid as a victim. We can't have that. We're supposed to be the victims all the time. They're supposed to be the scary ones. This is how the system works. Now we have to try and fix this because people started seeing things the right way in this country. Some that didn't see it before started seeing things the right way in this country because it was glaringly in our face. We have to fix this. Every time a white person is killed, which white people have been killed by black people before, now all of a sudden you care. The fact that this story has nothing to do with this kid who was tragically killed and now how Australia actually is pretty upset about the way things are run in this country. In fact, the real story should be about how they're worried about sending more international students to America because of how many people die here. Their issue with us is the gun issue.
Exactly.
We're not talking about that. Australia's upset about the gun issue, but we're talking about how, I can't believe you guys actually had some kind of sympathy for a murdered Trayvon Martin. We're not even mentioning it now.
So we have one more video. I really want to show you guys a video because Fox also discussed this with some panelists, and you know what to expect. Take a look.
Kid from Australia was simply running down the road, jogging after he visited his girlfriend. They run by the house where these three thugs, is what the prosecutor called the young men in court. What runs by them? They'd say, let's go kill him, essentially. And they went out and they did just that.
So right now, let's go to Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton.
The live shot?
Yeah, every time there's something like this that happens, they always weigh in, so let's go to that.
Oh wait, we don't have it. Why don't we have it? Because they haven't come forward and said anything. And are they going to? Will they? And should they?
We heard a lot from them during the Trayvon Martin situation.
Yeah, okay. Were they supposed to put out a press release saying, thank you for arresting the guys who did the shooting? Problem solved? Was that what the press release was supposed to say?